Turning up for all you bitch ass haters that was dissing BTS and now on my man top. We see y'all out here too, and Jimin gonna smack the shit out you when you see. How's it going? What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Jimin.
I'm Jarek.
I'm Curtis.
Nah, I'm Zach.
Fight me, bitch.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nah, it's like I'm crazy. Nah, but y'all seen the thumbnail, y'all seen the title, y'all know why y'all here. Jimin, like crazy. You crazy for not hitting that subscribe button and becoming a real redeemer today. Also, for crazy content like this, jump on the Patreon. We're gonna be getting into the Jimmy Fallon interview stuff that's gonna be up. Live performances for anything Jimin related. It's the dance practice is already up for Set Me Free Part 2 on there. Album review coming. B-sides coming from there. Jump on the Patreon. It's going to be fire.
I'm going to jump in there.
Like crazy.
Yeah, let me turn this up in the headphones. I'm trying to turn this up. Give us the respect that it's due. All right.
This is the hottest shit ever. God tier.
You beat me. God tier. So much. Look at that face.
I love the match codes.
Watch me go, and I just away. Action do, and she has
turn up.
Jimin, party. Incredible song. I love this vibe from him, no pun intended.
I know the dance practice is about to go crazy for this. Oh. Some Rick Owens.
That's hot.
Good ride. It's like
It's just so catchy.
good night.
Talk to him.
Jimin, he's like, you know, I need you in my life. Pick up that phone when I call you. I think he just punched a hater.
I ain't gonna lie, Nick. I edit this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just added this.
This is a fucking vibe, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. This like a fusion of like the Weeknd and Michael Jackson like came together. He's giving like I don't know why he was giving like Beat It energy.
I feel like I could do shit.
When Mike was walking around,
Real
his
shit,
was Beat It.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, it's probably the confidence.
Few
It's the
drugs
confidence
you
he
can do
gives
with
off.
Yeah, I don't know. He walking around. He walking around on some shit, man. I like this Jimin, man.
Be responsible.
He funny as shit. Yeah, because I had seen some people, I guess, had an issue with, like, I guess, trap Jimin or just, I'm not even going to speak on it.
Haters.
You're right. But I like this imagery. I like his vibe and his feel. Like, this is everything I
He's
wanted
having
from
a good
him.
time.
Yeah, I feel like he
man.
on some grown and sexy shit. Like, he on some vibe. This is a fucking vibe. Like, this
It's a
is
night
good
out.
energy.
It's like a Friday night
Yeah,
Like,
this
let's
is-
go out to
Let's go get some
drink.
drinks.
Let's have a good time.
You know what I mean? You had 5 of these and
Summertime.
shit. Do something back a little bit and shit. Some vibes in there.
Go to the beach.
know what I
It's
mean?
really like I don't remember.
Look, he in there. He throwing shit back in there. Everybody just like,
It's a forgetful night.
yeah. I really enjoy this, man. It really is good energy, and it's
I'm
and
trying
I'm-
to be on my birthday.
yeah, and I'm glad it didn't sound like Set Me Free Part 2 either. Like so it's. We're jumping into the whole album review on the Patreon, but I'm glad you getting versatility already from 2 different tracks. So I like that a lot. I like the cinematography that was going on in this video too. I'm a sucker for that when everything is bulked out and it's just like you see the one person and they seem to be either moving like a little faster tick than like everybody else, and I like that energy and that vibe. Yeah, this is decent, man. I thought the wardrobe was decent as well. It's a good joint. It's a download for me. I'm interested to hear what the rest of the album is gonna sound like.
100%. Man, I've been saying this. Jimin
Don't do it.
is him. He got it.
Timothy.
You know,
Him and-
he's on a different
Him and-
wavelength. He's on a different stratosphere at this moment. He's just high off of his artistry. He's living in the moment. You can see that he's like flourishing like a flower. Like my man's is just freed, and you can tell he's having a lot of fun with all the creative freedom that he has. Not that he didn't have it before, but you know, there's just so much that you can play around with when it's just you on a track, and you want to give off a certain vibe. And he executed it so well, from, you know, the whispering and the song to the just letting the beat ride and just you vibing with the music. There was a lot of moments that just made it feel, you know, like you're in that trance with him, in that party with him, just vibing.
Like crazy.
Like crazy, yeah. It's just,
I don't think that was mentioned one time in the song.
Right?
yeah, but that's the feeling it gives, you know, like crazy in a good way. Like you're having such a good time, you don't even know how to explain it. Whether it's, you know, you're at a party, you're in love, whatever. It's just a feeling that sometimes you feel so good, you don't even know how to explain it. It just feels like crazy. As far as the video goes, you know, I love the hallway shots when whatever the paint, whatever it was, just started oozing from the side. That was cool. Of course, the club scenes. That room, I forget what it was, but it kind of broke apart and came back.
It was the bathroom, and then it did break apart. And
Yeah,
come back. I want to know, was that practical or what they did?
Yeah, it looked like something like Jamiroquai,
Yeah.
virtual insanity-esque type,
Yeah.
type shot.
It could be achieved practical. I feel like it would be
Probably a mixture of both.
easier, you know. But if they don't use this on an episode of Euphoria, that's a fumble.
Dog.
This was amazing.
Never thought I heard Jimin seeing what it tastes like and give him a good ride.
I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
I like solo Jimin. Solo Jimin over everyone.
You're a solo, Steve.
I am.
I mean,
But hey. But
you know
hey.
what it is.
I mean, the comments are fun when we don't say anything.
We knew it.
so.
I like this a lot as well. This song is definitely like a super duper vibe. Video was a vibe. Super download. I love the thermal heat shots. this hallway scene. The song was really like crazy. The whole party, him getting lit, drunk, walking out, everything's a blur. Then him just being at the table, that's how you feel like the next morning. Like, shit. You don't feel like you want to do anything. This really felt like The Weeknd. And a really good vibe.
You know the artist and the D's.
Like Blinding Lights, yeah.
It's a double entendre.
Damn. This is a great song. I really, really, really do like this.
You know what I just noticed? I think they were doing it practical, because if you notice that hallway shot, there was one shot where it was like very like the walls.
Scene, he's like touching both walls.
Yeah, and then they spread out,
yeah.
which is an awesome use of a set.
I do like the how you talked about the joint where basically like it shows like people kissing in the background and everything like that, and how he's on top of them and everything like that. That also too is indicative of like those weekends or party nights where you kind of black out so much you like making out with somebody. And, you know, I mean, I don't advise everybody to be doing that, but you know, live your life. Just be safe.
As long as you're being safe.
As long as you're being safe and responsible.
You feel like you can handle that situation.
Like I was telling Jared, this is like, please do these things responsible, but shrooms and other narcotics and alcohol, this is like a real good time. You're going crazy.
For those who are of age,
please,
can handle
21
it.
and older.
No, I just find it like it feels all purposeful, because literally every time they show, he's like, let me have a taste and give me a good ride. You could be talking about liquor, you could be talking about other things, but everything is kind of in that same vein of the mood that you want to be into, and I'm gonna just kind of leave it at that for like one of these kind of nights.
This video low-key could be like him venting, because the song is like him talking to someone. So it could be like him getting his ish off, going to get a drink, partying after like an argument or whatever with his girlfriend.
And this is what he left on the answering machine?
Yeah.
Was it toxic? Because he had the goo on his hand.
Probably.
Like he was fighting toxicity.
He got
Still
it out
had the
mud.
residue on him. That's
he got
crazy.
his love out the mud.
It's like crazy. It's like, comment, subscribe.
Somebody mute his mic.
Just kill it.
No, I'm out. Okay, this was made on the 14th. All right. I like this video. I thought it was dope. Immediately off the bat, you know, I'm going to talk about the 80s synth. Like, it just sounded and kind of vibed like, you know, cyberpunk. Even the colors with the teal lighting and just things like that. Just always going to give you that vibe, and always going to be a futuristic nostalgia. As far as the video goes, I love it. It definitely just seems like from the very beginning he's in a dream. Like he puts his head down and all of a sudden the floor turns to mud. It's almost the same mud that you see at the end, and it's also the mud that you kind of see coming down in the hallway. And he gets pulled by a random arm with mud on it into the club. And even when he's like, don't wake me in the middle of the song, everything starts to go in reverse, like he's being pulled out of the dream. And he kind of like stops and stays within it. You know, again, Jared kind of brought up the Jamiroquai set piece. Even being lifted up in the club kind of is like a callback to Set Me Free. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, like, there were a lot of different things. That is practical, Jared. That is fire. This was just a well-done video and pretty good storytelling from the aspect of just being in a trance, or maybe just needing to go out and, like Zach said, vent, or just want to have a good time and not have to worry about the significant other, or just being in a dream and enjoying that time with them within that dream, knowing that when you wake up, they're not going to be there. So just kind of living your life in that dream vicariously through, you know, your other self.
We were just talking about college.
Yeah.
That's ironic we was.
No, but I thought everything in this video was cool. It definitely kind of hinted at some things. Him and the girl walking parallel through the crowd. That might be the other chick. Or it might be the chick that he's talking to or referencing to, or has caught his eye. They don't really do too many interaction, but they do kind of pass on the glance. You know what I mean? So, like, this was really good. I just like the way things were shot. Like, some of the sweeping shots, 360 shots, you know what I mean? Just really well done. Yeah, Yeah, this was good.
It's funny too about the girl that you was talking about. I had noticed in those like one of the shots, like she seemed to be on her cell phone more than anything too. I feel like they had like shown that.
The girl with like the braids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. At first, I thought it might have been like a cameo from one of the members of New Jeans because I thought it looked like Minji, but it wasn't her because she was also in the beginning as well when she walked by in reverse, same person, but it wasn't her unless it was just a bad angle, and it might have been. But it wouldn't surprise me if that was a cameo. They are label mates. And, things like that tend to happen. She might have been around or might have been on set or might have wanted to just come out and check them out or whatever. No, but all in all, I think this was definitely a dope vibe. It definitely does give Weekend vibes, especially when we talk about that hallway and then the reverse and the fast forward. It definitely gives you those sort of things.
I thought it was the Weekend running through the.
But like that's kind of how I, like kind of how I feel. Just everything moving so fast and so blurry that like Zach and Jarek and even you said, like your life is in a haze, like one of those hazy nights. It's definitely viable, and we all spoke on before about how Jimin likes to drink. So that wouldn't be too far out the realm of possibility. Like we kind of see him cool, calm, and contained, but we like outside of the the realm of I gotta perform tonight. He might be a type of person to have fun. I think you said y'all saw the Hobie party, and he was turning up. You know what I mean? So, like, he seems like the guy that you want to hang out with, like that you want to chill with.
Yeah, it's just crazy because we had the Set Me Free Part 2 and then this, and both of them are kind of iterations of being set free, just in different like wording. And I think like that's kind of dope so far, and just I can't wait to see what the rest of the album is with Face, because now I think it is. I think I am gonna go into it a little bit. Like, what are you facing? Is it your fears, yourself? Like,
Or it might be the many faces of Jimin.
Yeah.
Because we are seeing different sides of him that we haven't seen prior.
Yeah.
And he's talking about being set free. He's talking about going crazy, and we're seeing like aspects of him in the going crazy video that we might not have seen necessarily before.
He's making the haters face the music.
Yeah. How's that top shelf going?
How's it going?
No, I like this a lot. I mean, just the music and the production and everything like that he's given with his voice and everything. It's just that in and of itself is like definitely something that I enjoyed. Like just listening to this. I mean, the video is really incredible in addition to that, but just like his musicality, like the notes he's hitting. I like that there's a little bit of a rock kind of vibe to it as well. And as you all had mentioned, the Weekend and everything for sure. Like you definitely get kind of hints of that throughout here, or like that general kind of atmosphere, energy, if you will. So kind of just everything he was doing musically, like I really love kind of the cadence and the tempo that everything was kept in. So like for one, also the hook is really catchy. So I loved all those aspects too. A little bit about the video though is it definitely stood out to me in the sense that like everything feels like it's almost in reverse in a sense too. Like it kind of does echo a little bit of the Hangover sort of aspect of like kind of waking up and trying to remember what had happened the night before, and perhaps that's a little bit of the like crazy sort of aspects of like trying to recall these events. And one of the reasons I'm pointing that out is because when we get the match cut of like his eye when he's like waking up, and then it kind of flashes to the party scene where he's alone. The extra that's in the foreground is kind of moving backwards. So basically the footage is reversed. So it kind of makes me think that everything that we're seeing going forward is actually what had happened previously, at least if I'm not mistaken. So it kind of, yeah. So it's kind of like again, kind of just like recalling in that hazy effect, as you had said, when you mess with the shutter speed to make everything in slow motion, everything being blurry and psychedelic, really, for lack of a better term. So it's like all those kind of aspects feels like it's like, I'm trying to remember or recall this, and it's like, the aspects of what's, real and what isn't, or what am I, making superficial and what am I, remembering like kind of accurately. At least all those things are kind of, we call that in storytelling, I know Keith and, Nick and everyone up here, just being filmmakers and everything, but, the unreliable narrator. basically it kind of calls into that effect where it's like, you know, everything that you're being portrayed is from one point of view, and you don't know if that point of view is entirely truthful. And what I mean by that is, again, because it's like trying to recall everything, you're trying to sift through everything. And the fact that it's like crazy, and there's, you know, the aspects, you know, the album being face, and as you had said, you know, face, confront, but also, you know, the many faces that, you know, a persona that you would kind of put on. He says, you know, staring at my reflection in the mirror, kind of trying to, you know, recall who I am through all this. And that's when you get the spatial shot where the set kind of breaks apart a little bit. It's like you kind of literally zone out in that moment. And also, I like the lyrics that he had said, as far as like, you know, he kind of had a little bit of an oxymoron towards the latter half of the track where he said, I'm feeling most alive when I'm wasting my time, or something like that, which is kind of interesting, because if you're wasting time, you're losing life, you know, like kind of wasting moments. You're seen as like kind of wasting your time. But he's saying like in those moments is kind of what I'm feeling alive. So perhaps if they're calling into this, you know, the party aspect of like, you know, it's something that's not quite productive, but it's something that I'm like feeling like I can finally, you know, I guess, you know, for lack of a better term to tie into the album, like set yourself free, just kind of, you know, let loose, enjoy. Even if it's something that's ultimately forgettable or something that's, you know, perhaps toxic to you, it's something that you kind of just, everything goes away, kind of that you're dealing with in those moments. And certainly the directing kind of lends to that as well, with the whole psychedelic aspects, the shutter speed being messed with, kind of changing up the settings. And know what's interesting too, when he first entered that kind of scene where he's like has his arm pulled and he runs into that party setting, and we see it for the first time with all the extras and everything around. You get that moment where the camera's like behind him and then wraps around to his face, and it's kind of, if you have seen the Avengers, it's not the first Avenger with Cap when he sees Times Square for the first time, and you get that wraparound. It was kind of the same sort of camera technique, and I guess the reason it made me think of that was because in that moment, Cap is basically like, wow, the world around me has changed so much. And it kind of, you know, seeing it through that kind of perspective, like, you know, what the party scene would be to Jimin kind of in that first scene, or at least the character whom he's trying to portray in there. It kind of made it feel like that, to where it's like, this is like the lifestyle that consumes you. And you see everything around him, like, you know, you see that kind of mud build up on the floor and everything, when you get that match cut between like the light flickering, which is really interesting as well. Basically, like, you know, it's an illusion or of some kind. So I kind of think the beginning of the video is actually the end of the video, with all the, you know, kind of trippy stuff that they're adding into it. But basically when he is laying there and you don't see the mud on him, and then at the end you kind of bookend it with him having the mud, I think it's ultimately him sort of realizing kind of, you know, the fault in that lifestyle, or like what metaphor that's meant to represent. Because honestly, I don't really think it's just about partying itself. I think it's more about like kind of like just that escapism. You know, if I'm trying to confront everything about, you know, who you are, or, you know, the things you're facing. But, you know, it definitely lends to that on, you know, those kind of levels as well. But I would say all in all, this definitely hit for me, and it's honestly really making me even more intrigued for kind of everything he's choosing to present with the album. Because as you had said, Zach, too, you know, all the thermo imaging kind of things, where it's like you're not even seeing like the essence of like who the people are, because it's all blurry and everything, but you're just seeing like kind of the light that they radiate. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting that you're not seeing like much of the human aspect of there. You're just kind of seeing like the equivalent of silhouettes, or kind of, you know, like they just don't feel like there's real interaction. Even the one girl that we do happen to see, like as you had pointed out, is like on the phone and everything. So it's interesting that they kind of make, you know, Jimin surrounded by everyone, partying, but ultimately really alienated at the same point within everything. So I found this incredibly interesting for sure. It's definitely a unique perspective that, you know, he's choosing to take. So I'm really curious to kind of how this is going to tie into the album and everything going forward.
You like you want the double Dutch bacon?
Nah, I'm good.
Anything else you want to add? Yeah, jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all feel about this. We'll want to talk with y'all more, but to be honest, I want to jump into this album. Yeah, man. Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts of like what theories y'all have with the video, unless y'all cheated already and watched the interview when he talked about it. Say nah. But yeah, we literally about to jump on the Patreon. We got to get into the interview on there, album review, and everything else that comes with this Jimin package. We love y'all. We're gonna holla at y'all.
Love y'all. Take care.
Peace.